the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad, but I'm past that. With a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab brown man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit, I'm glad. When the check missed the direct hit, I'm sad. Like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you fuck like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go on your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 19-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Cousins gives way to Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Hey, Alpha! 56, the mock boys, 56. Check 56. Now watch run. Where's the
Throwing, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. D. Ford with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. Wait.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
Have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here. 3rd and 3. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Coleman. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Garoppolo. This is Coleman with a grab. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. There for the sack, Everson Griffin. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
12 yards there. First down, Vikings. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Gun!
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run, Cook, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, Steamer! 56.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Cousins now. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 13-yard line. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. Lean up, 48.
Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
54 is Mike, 54.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins, and this is Cook with a grab. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Hey, we're good. 5.
3rd and long for Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. They'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, these offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing now is Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Garoppolo on the draw to Coleman. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let them know.
Now Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. 20. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
But looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. They'll try and power it in with Juszczyk. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Garoppolo. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Dante Pettis, his first touchdown on the year. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. On first down, it's Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he's able to find Diggs. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 45-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. Here's Cousins, and nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
You got nothing. Lucky 48. You got nothing. 300. Kill.
They'll throw again. Cousins. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Yellow. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman.
When we talk about the best corners in the league, we're usually saying shutdown corners, guys you can't complete passes against. Richard Sherman fits that definition to a T. The best part of his game, no wasted moves. He studies the opponent so well, hard to get a pass on Richard Sherman.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go. 58, right there. 65.
They will run again with Coleman. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Cousins to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's third down. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Let's take it inside his own 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. 180. 58. Come on. 12. It's just me.
They'll run on 1st down. Coleman. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Delay of game penalty. Ships him back 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point 4th quarter lead. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike's 54. Good route here. 54. I'm here all day. I'm here all day. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike.
Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down.
Listen to me.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. On 1st down, it's Coleman. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run it now with Juszczyk. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go. Like 80. Oh, you got deep? You got tight left. Alert. 3 down. Check 24. Stay hot.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 3 plays, all resulting in 3-yard carries to bring up 4th down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. 1-possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Here we go. 180. 58, right there. Watch the screen. Pass.
Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 13-yard line. Today's final score.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defensive.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the 49ers, They're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2.